If you've ever gone outside to maybe start the car, you know how that below freezing air feels against your skin.
Yeah, it really does hit you. Doctors say it doesn't just feel uncomfortable, it can also be real dangerous. So News 8 Stephanie Simone joins us live from Yale New Haven Hospital this morning with more on how to dress to fight this frigid air outside. Good morning, Steph.
Hey, good morning to you, Keith and Laura. Yeah, of course, those hats, those gloves, those scarves, that is so important, especially with those wind chills out there. And this morning we are at Yale New Haven Hospital, the Children's Hospital, and we're in the ER this morning with Dr. James Dottington. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for coming in.
So when you talk about injuries with this cold weather, what do you guys typically see?
So the kinds of injuries we see are really injuries associated with exposure. So things like, just like you mentioned, if kids don't have gloves on, if they don't have, their hat on, the possibility of mild hypothermia, of mild frostbite. But for the most part here in Connecticut, we're not seeing extreme cold injuries.
Yeah, typically people have to have exposure to water or
Right.
some sort of accident to happen to see that.
Right. So the big issue is just making a message for common sense for parents. So as long as your kids are kind of doing normal things, going to school, going to the bus stop, you should be pretty good. We really worry as emergency docs about the possibility of, ponds and lakes aren't frozen over yet. So those kinds of accidents, whether it's in water or other kinds of injuries outside, those are the things that can actually lead to more extreme temperatures.
Yeah, because those aren't frozen over. So when it comes to children versus babies, there is a difference in how you should dress them, right?
Yeah, so we just want to make sure people understand that for infants and those under 1 year of age, you want to make sure that you have one extra layer of clothing from what you would normally be wearing or an older child would be wearing. So if your child is wearing, kind of their coat, maybe giving the baby one extra layer, and know that babies get colder faster, so checking the baby's temp because they're not going to shiver and keep themselves warm the same way an older kid will.
But at this point, you're seeing more flu cases than cold weather injuries, right?
Yeah, so just the normal stuff here in Connecticut. So think about colds and coughs. Those are the things we're seeing the most of. But remember to keep your kids safe in terms of keeping their heads covered and, all those general accident things, keeping them out of harm's way.
All right, Dr. Dottington, thank you so much. And get
Thank
your
you.
flu shots, everyone, too.
Take
I
care.
learned that this morning as well. So all good advice. Of course, just bundle up like we've been saying. For now, we are live at Yale New Haven Children's Hospital. Stephanie Simone, back to you.